Well, the verdict is in the Fani Willis case. You know, a lot of people was rooting for her, and there was a lot of people actually wanting her to be taken off the case. And Judge McCaffrey, he laid down the law, and he said that she can stay, but Nathan Wade has to go. So now you have the governor, you have so many people, Trump's lawyers, they're coming at her with guns blazing. They want her out of there. They said that her credibility is shot. She has to go. I warned you guys before that for them to take her off this case, that would put her in the position now where all of her cases, past, present, and going into the future, will come under scrutiny, because now you can't trust her. But everybody was looking crazy in this courtroom, from Nathan Wade to Nathan Wade's old friend, that attorney that was being questioned on the stand. It was just a dog and pony show. Check out the old boy that was on the stand. We'll come right back.
Mr. Bradley, when you communicated with Miss Merchant, did you tell her any lies about Mr. Wade and Miss Willis's relationship?
Did I lie to Miss?
That's a simple question, Mr. Bradley. You're a lawyer. Did you lie to Miss Merchant when you told her facts about Mr. Wade and Miss Willis's relationship?
Not that I recall.
But see, if you judge Fani Willis for her behavior with all of the outbursts, all of the unprofessionalism, Judge McAfee still rendered this ruling for a reason. Because I keep telling you guys, they were not going to put her cases under this public scrutiny like this. It would have ruined Fulton County. And Trump's lawyers are very upset. But let's check out Judge McCaffrey's ruling. Check this out.
The ruling, highly critical of DA Fani Willis, also provides her a key victory. She will be allowed to stay on the Trump election interference case. Good evening, and thank you for joining us on Fox Local. I'm Russ Spencer.
I'm Courtney Bryant. Judge Scott McAfee denied defense efforts to have Willis and her office removed because she dated an attorney she hired as a special prosecutor. But Fox 5 team reporter Randy Travis says that order has cost that special prosecutor his job.
That's right, Courtney. Russ, Nathan Wade tendered his resignation shortly after the judge's order came out. That was the deal Judge McAfee offered Fani Willis if she wanted to stay on the case. But now she will have to find his replacement, while at the same time working to repair a reputation hit hard by this controversy.
You're confused. You think I'm on trial. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020.
That trial is now back on track, following a judge's ruling that allows Fani Willis to remain in charge of the election interference case. In his 23-page ruling, Judge Scott McAfee decided the evidence did not establish the district attorney's receipt of a material financial benefit as a result of her decision to hire and engage in a romantic relationship with Wade. Defense attorneys for 9 of the 15 remaining defendants argued Nathan Wade was hired primarily because he was dating Willis, and the two vacationed together with Wade, spending what the court determined was as much as $15,000 on his boss. But the couple, who say they only started dating after he was hired and also broke up shortly before last August's indictment, testified Willis paid or reimbursed Wade for roughly half of those expenses, and all in cash.
You don't have a single solitary deposit slip to corroborate or support any of your allegations that you were paid by Mrs. Willis in cash, do you?
No, sir.
Not a single solitary one.
Not a one.
That seemed to satisfy the judge. Simply put, the defendants have not presented sufficient evidence indicating that the expenses were not roughly divided evenly. McAfee did agree the relationship was, quote, a tremendous lapse in judgment, but he refused to disqualify Willis from the case, instead giving her this option. The district attorney may choose to step aside, along with the whole of her office, and refer the prosecution to the prosecuting attorney's counsel for reassignment. Alternatively, Special Prosecutor Wade can withdraw, allowing the district attorney, the defendants, and the public to move forward without his presence or remuneration distracting from and potentially compromising the merits of this case.
So now Trump's lawyers is going to come after Fani Willis in the prosecutor's office with both guns blazing. They're not playing. They don't feel like that they was treated fairly. They feel like with all the things that went on with her getting on the stand and perjuring herself and lying, that she doesn't have the credibility to come after Donald Trump to say that he's guilty of anything. So these lawyers now are filing all kinds of motions. They're reaching out to the governor, the senator, anybody that has power that can have the power to take Fani out of her position. So this is what the two lawyers, the positions that they're taking now in defending Donald Trump. Check this out.
So two defense attorneys in the case say today's ruling did not go far enough. Former President Trump's attorney saying, quote, while respecting the court's decision, we believe that the court did not afford appropriate significance to the prosecutorial misconduct of Willis and Wade. He also promised to continue to fight the case. And defense attorney Ashley Merchant, who led the efforts to get the DA disqualified, says she believes Willis's office should have been disqualified entirely, but says the judge, quote, clearly agreed with the defense that the actions of Willis are a result of poor judgment and that there is a risk to the future of the case if she doesn't quickly work to cure her conflict.
Well, from a criminal indictment against former President Donald Trump to the top prosecutor in the case stepping down, let's take a look at how we got to this point.
February 10th, 2021, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis announces a criminal probe into alleged election interference. In November of that year, Willis hired Nathan Wade as special prosecutor on the case. On August 14th, 2023, former President Donald Trump and 18 others are indicted. And then on January 8th of this year, Ashley Merchant, the defense attorney for Michael Roman, filed her motion to disqualify Willis, kicking off this entire situation. On February 2nd, DA Willis and Special Prosecutor Wade confirmed their relationship in a court filing. And then on February 15th, they testified about that relationship during a hearing to determine whether or not they should be disqualified. That brings us to today, when the judge decided Wade must leave the case or Willis and her office must step aside. That was this morning. But just before 3:30 this evening, Wade resigned from the case.
And again, they're going to come after Judge McCaffrey now because they have a timeline where they can show that Judge McCaffrey had a relationship, not a sexual relationship, but a working relationship with District Attorney Fani Willis. Before he was a judge, he worked for the prosecution. He worked in the office under somebody else that Fani Willis ran the show. She was the boss. So he really worked for her. He also donated to her campaign. So now there's a conflict of interest here. They're going to be able to show that how could they got a just trial with this lawyer where he has a relationship with Fani. There's no way of knowing that. So this is going to be a problem. So this is not over by a long shot. They're pulling out all the records. They're going way back in the past to see the relationship between this judge, who was only 36 years old, and Fani Willis. And they're able to go back to the professional experiences all the way back, man. And there's a relationship. Check this out.
Joe, the controversial ruling has drawn some criticism, especially from Republicans who support former President Donald Trump. Now, shortly after the ruling came down, Georgia Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene posted on X that Judge Scott McAfee should have recused himself from the case because he previously worked for District Attorney Fani Willis and donated to her campaign. So is that true? Our Verified team did some digging for you today, and here's what we found out. Our sources include state campaign finance records, the Superior Court of Fulton County, and Charlie Bailey, an attorney and former Democratic candidate for lieutenant governor. So first up, the claim that Judge McAfee donated to DA Willis's campaign, that is true. Campaign finance records show he gave $150 to her campaign in 2020. Judge McAfee was working for the Justice Department at the time and not as a judge. Governor Brian Kemp appointed him to the bench in 2022. Now to the claim that McAfee worked for DA Willis. That needs some context. His professional experience listed on the Senior Court of Fulton County's website says he did work as the senior assistant DA in Fulton County. Attorney Charlie Bailey says he actually worked with McAfee in that trial division headed by Willis. Bailey says McAfee would have reported directly to Willis for a time, but she wasn't the DA just yet. Bailey says situations like these, in fact, are extremely common, where you have a judge considering a case brought by one of their former co-workers. He said it is not viewed typically as improper. Also important to note, Judge McAfee was randomly assigned to this case. DA Willis did not handpick him. It's just how things shook out.
So in closing, the prosecution and the courts is protecting themselves at this time with Fani Willis, because they know that if they kick her off this case, all of her past, present, and future cases are going to come immediately under scrutiny, and it's going to cost the state a lot of money. A lot of money. Because there's going to be appeals, there's going to be grounds to get cases thrown out, because this woman's credibility is just thrown to the mud. She's looked at now as a liar. You can't trust her. So how can we trust that her prosecuting any of the cases of her past, present, and future was done on the up and up? You're not going to be able to do that. So, and the lawyers knew that going in. So now this is why Judge McCaffrey now is under fire, and they have to check his background, because, again, you sided with this woman when there was clearly lies and clearly laws being broken. Now, again, like I said, this is basically business. This is how they've been doing business like this. You know, there's favoritism and everything. It's who you know, who you affiliated with. But again, I mean, it's not weird. It's not crazy. It's just that they don't want to have to reopen a lot of cases. That YSL case is going to be this thing is just all messed up now. And Fani Willis, who gonna check me, Boo Willis? She don't care. She don't care. You see her attitude? But this is what happens, man. But I'm gonna cut this video short here, man. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.